guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build a small mushroom house, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so you can kind of see the blocks that I'm using here. So I'm going to be using the red mushroom blocks for the roof, and then I'm going to be using the stripped birch logs for the walls, and then also I'm going to make a more realistic mushroom house, which I'm going to be using the mushroom stem, but also I think it would just be easier in survival to build the one with stripped birch logs. And then also I'm going to be using some calcite for the ground surrounding it, and I'm going to be using some white stained glass just to go ahead and have that. So yeah, for the windows. And then here, so I'm going to go ahead and start out with a 7x7, but I'm going to leave off the corners, making it into a 5x5. You can also add it so that there's more of a roundness to it if you wanted to do that. So then you would kind of do this here, where then you'd have that corner block, and then you could go ahead and extend it to where you would have this kind of thing. And yeah, that is kind of what it would look like. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna go with that for now, and I'm gonna go ahead and build this up 3 blocks, and this is gonna be more of the realistic mushroom house. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I will be right back with you. Okay, so here I'm also just going to go ahead and make an outline for the next section of the house, which this is not going to be another floor, this is just going to be the next portion that I'm building up. And I want this part to be taller but smaller, so then we kind of have this, and then I'm going to go ahead and add the roof on top, or you can go ahead and make it even smaller to make it a little bit taller, and I think that's what I'm going to do for this first house. And then for the next house, I'm going to make a smaller house that is just using stripped birch logs for the first thing. So now I'm going to go ahead and go on the inside here, and I'm just going to go ahead and add the outline just like this. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to build up the corner blocks of this area by 2, and then I'm going to build the rest of the walls up just like that, so then it kind of adds a nice look. And you can also extend up the corners here as well, or you can extend up this if you would rather do that. So you can kind of mess around with that to add more detail to it, and later we will go back and add more detail so that it looks nicer. But now I'm just going to build this up another 2 or 3, and then I'm going to add the roof after that. Okay, so now is time for the roof, and I'm just going to go ahead and provide a small outline. So here I'm just going to add an outline, which is just 1 block away from the existing house. And now I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that it all looks nice. And I'm also going to go ahead and fill in this. And to go with the inside, you can add the flooring or the ceiling for whatever you would like. But I think for this, I'm going to, I think I'll just leave it with this to add it kind of a little bit nicer, to add some color to the top, and then maybe we could add a chandelier later. But now I'm going to go ahead and add another layer to the outside here. And yeah, so I think that that's looking nice and big for the first part of it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and build this up, and yeah. So I'm just going to kind of do something like this for the outside here. And then you can go ahead and fill this in if you're in creative, just because it makes it a little bit easier. And also it does make sure that mobs won't spawn. And to add some more detail, you can also add a little rim around here, just so that you have that extra space. Or you can build out one block and do that, so then it would look a little bit nicer. Or just look a little bit bigger, just because now you have that one block space, and for some people that may not look the best, but then on the inside you have a little bit of space there. And then now you're just going to go ahead and continue to build it up. And then later you can go back and add detail to it to make it look a little bit less like it's super round and just more like it has just kind of a pattern to it or something like that, so that it doesn't look round like this and it doesn't have all these one block places, but you can add blocks in certain areas to kind of make it look a little bit more textured. And you can just kind of do that around the area, and then it kind of makes it look a little bit more natural instead of having all of the blocks everywhere. But you don't want to place a block in every single space, because you don't want it to just make it bigger. You want to, so you don't want to add blocks all along there. You want to kind of make it a little bit more textured than that. And then in the end it'll kind of look something like this. And then also you can again extend this out by 1 if you would like to do that, so that on the inside it does look much bigger. And yeah, but overall I do think that this turned out really nice for the first house, and I think it looks really nice, especially with the more textured top to it. I think it makes it look a little bit better, and it makes it look a little bit more natural. And now for the next house, you can either build this right here or back here if you would like to build these two together, and I think that that would look really nice if you had them together in a forest kind of thing. But for this one, I'm just going to make it a nice small little house here. And I'm also going to add that one block for the corner so that you have that. And I'm just going to go ahead and build this up 4 blocks so that we have that in place for the walls. And then we go ahead and, well, we can go ahead and build the roof. And right now I'm just adding an outline, and I will build the ceiling up 1 higher so that it kind of looks like you're just living inside of the mushroom. And then I think it would look nice like that. And so then on the inside you'll have kind of this, and you can just kind of fill this in here if you would like to do that. And then you have that right there. You can also add these mushroom blocks here and extend them down to make it look a little bit more natural on the sides. So then you can just kind of add some blocks occasionally there. You can also do something like that to make it look a little bit better. And yeah, so that's kind of what you do on the inside to make it look a little bit better, but then on the outside it might not look as good. So you can always cover them up with trapdoors if you would rather just put trapdoors on the sides there, and I think that that would look nice. Or you can always just add more to it and it'll look good how it is. And then here. That is kind of what I'm doing right now. And then you can also extend this out as well if you would like to do that. And then go ahead and like place blocks along the bottom here. And then what you can do is just remove some of the blocks, but not all of the blocks, just to make it look a little bit natural. And yeah, of course this doesn't have to look super realistic because this is just using the birch planks, so it's not going to look super realistic because obviously it's not using the mushroom block for the walls. So yeah, it's not going to look super realistic, but you can at least try to make it seem as though it's realistic, and I think that it looks really good like that. So yeah, and then on the sides here you can go ahead and just add some detail, and also it does cover up that little block there if you would like to have that. Also, I think it makes it look really nice for an entrance, because then I think it just looks nice having that little thing there. So yeah. And basically then you can just keep on doing this and kind of just making it look however you want. And I think it looks really nice in my opinion. So yeah, and then that's kind of the completed house, and I think it looks really nice. And I think it turned out really good in the end. Also, if you wanted to make it look a little bit better for the top, I do realize that it doesn't look the best for that as of right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and fix that up a little bit. And I think having it be a little bit taller will fit with it being as wide as the top of it is. But I do think that these houses look really nice, and of course you can always go ahead and add more detail on the edges here, such as you were to go ahead and do this, to go ahead and add some more to it. And then just adding a little bit more detail on all the edges here can always make a house look nice. So yeah, it's kind of what I'm doing right now. And yeah, so I think it looks really good how it is as of right now. And yeah, so you can keep messing with it a little bit more to make it look how you want it. And yeah, so then you would just keep on doing that, and yeah. And for the calcite, I was thinking that you could just add an area around it. Okay, so that's kind of what I meant by having the calcite added, so it kind of looks like it is part of the environment. And then you would go ahead and you could just add some trees around it, and then it would kind of make it look like it was in a forest. And this would be if it's in a flat world, but of course you can just build it in a forest to start with, and I think it would look really nice. Okay guys, so here I went ahead and, as you can see, I just added a path. I also added a ton of trees around the area. I wanted to make it look as good as possible whenever you are viewing it from the path. I also added a little pond with some lily pads and some sugarcane, and you can also make this into a sugarcane farm as well, just like a small little one by the pond. And then I also added some bamboo. I thought it looks really nice. I think it looks really nice. And yeah, I also added just moss blocks right next to the path, and then outside of that I added some moss carpet, and I think it looks really nice for the texturing, and I really like it. I also bone mealed the ground to make sure that everything looks nice. So yeah, and I really like it. You can also see that I added some glass here, and I think on the outside it looks really nice. So yeah, and you can barely notice it. You'd really have to look hard. Like, yes, you can notice it, but I think it looks really nice and you wouldn't really notice it from the outside. But I think on the inside it looks really nice, and it's well lit right now as it's daytime in the game. But I do think that it looks really nice. So yeah. And this is just a small little mushroom house, and then another small little mushroom house, although technically it is pretty big. You can also see I did the texturing here, and I did some more texturing on the outside as well. So I did that same texturing that I used for this mushroom on that mushroom. But yeah, and that's pretty much it for today. So I hope you guys really liked it, and make sure to stay tuned for the decorating video so that I can decorate these two houses and we can see what will be on the inside to make it look good and finish the house. So yeah. Okay guys, so I hope you all enjoyed the video. This was really fun and I really enjoyed making the mushroom houses. I think it looks really nice, and I think it would look really nice in a forest. You could probably put this in a dark oak forest and I think it would look really nice. But yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed. I hope to see you guys all next time, and bye!
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.